The government shutdown has reached a critical point, with talks intensifying and the potential for a resolution on the horizon. But this isn't just about politics. It's about the very real impact on people's lives. Let's start with the basics. House staffers are facing a financial crunch as their paychecks are delayed until Congress can agree on new funding. A memo from the House Chief Administrative Officer made it clear that the payroll office is powerless during this lapse in appropriations, leaving employees in a state of uncertainty. But here's where it gets controversial. Senate Democrats, along with health influencers and doctors, are warning of dire consequences for Americans' health. They argue that the shutdown is preventing people from accessing the health care they desperately need. Dr. Anita Patel paints a grim picture, stating that when healthcare costs become unaffordable, life-saving treatments are put at risk. Patel's words carry weight. I have seen firsthand the devastating impact when children lose access to healthcare. I've witnessed teenagers in diabetic comas, seizures causing permanent brain damage, all because their families couldn't afford the necessary medications. Senate Democrats are pushing for an extension of health insurance tax credits, a move they believe is crucial to reopening the government. However, Republican leaders stand firm, refusing to negotiate until Democrats allow them to reopen the government. And this is the part most people miss. The issue has gained urgency with the open enrollment period for health insurance under the Affordable Care Act beginning on November 1st. While tax credits are set to expire at year-end, increased premiums are expected during this critical period. Senator Cory Booker and Senator Elizabeth Warren, both Democrats, are vocal about the pain Americans are enduring. Booker states, "There are painful days ahead for Americans already suffering under this administration's leadership." Warren adds, Republicans would rather shut down the government than address this healthcare crisis and make healthcare more affordable. But is this truly a Republican issue? GOP Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina believes a resolution is within reach, possibly next week. He senses a growing He argues that true negotiations haven't begun, and that Democrats made a mistake by shutting down the government. Senator John Thune, a Republican, offers a glimmer of hope, stating that talks among senators have ticked up significantly. He believes there's a higher level of conversation taking place, but Democratic leadership is absent from these discussions. So what's the holdup? House Speaker Mike Johnson calls the situation a futile exercise, blaming Democratic leaders for their refusal to reopen the government. He believes they're influenced by the upcoming election and the potential victory of Zohran Mamdani. Most of this loss could be reversed once funding resumes, but some output, particularly hours not worked during the shutdown, will be irrecoverable. As the Senate convenes on day 29 of the shutdown, the focus shifts to individual bills to pay workers and fund programs. Senate Majority Leader John Thune dismisses this piecemeal approach, urging approval of the House-passed measure to fund the government until November 21st. But here's a twist. Senate Democrats are introducing a bill to fund the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, a crucial federal program that helps over 40 million Americans buy groceries. The program is set to halt payments on Saturday, and Democrats are determined to keep it running. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins has a different perspective, stating that the Trump administration lacks the legal authority to keep SNAP funded during the shutdown. She argues that following the law is their priority and that using contingency funds is not an option. So, what's next? The Senate is set to vote on a measure to roll back a Biden administration rule on the National Petroleum Reserve in Alaska, as well as a judicial confirmation. The session will also include a vote on reversing a rule on barred owl management in western states. As the shutdown drags on, the impact on people's lives becomes increasingly evident. World Central Kitchen, founded by celebrity chef Jose Andres, is stepping up to feed furloughed federal workers in Washington, D.C., providing hot lunches until the stalemate ends. The question remains, will a resolution be found, or will the shutdown continue to cause pain and uncertainty for Americans? What are your thoughts on this ongoing crisis? Share your opinions in the comments below.